Shabbat Shalom. Can you believe this? What an amazing night to be here at Temple Israel in our garden. And even if you're not joining us and, tuning in from a distance, we welcome you. We are thrilled. The view from up here on our bima is amazing, with the sun setting in the west and the beautiful fountain in our pond, and of course all of you. And we reach into our hearts for this opening piece that requires no words, just yai lai lai. So please sing with us. Yai lai 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 lai. La 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 la
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Look to your left, look to your right, introduce yourselves, say hello if you're sitting next to someone you haven't met before, or Shabbat Shalom if you know the person already. We welcome all of you to this beautiful evening filled with the voices of our people, as we invite Carol Lawson to join us on the bima to light our Shabbat candles, to welcome Shabbat as we turn to page 13 together.
This is Israel's day of light and joy, a Shabbat of rest. As we kindle these Shabbat flames, may there be light and joy, happiness and holiness, serenity and peace in our homes and in our hearts. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvah tov, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech service continues on page 27 with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, לקראת קלה, בני שבת, נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת, נקבלה, שמו וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו Oy בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בואי לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת, נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת, נקבלה.
We're going to flip back in our books to page 23. As we prepare to begin this service together, we read responsibly. We are young, our experience is few. We are older, veterans of life's teaching. We are married, we are single, we are Jews of many varied traditions. Having traveled many different roads on our separate journeys have led us all to this sacred place in our lives.
We rise together on page 35.
La
So usually there's a reading here about how beautiful nature is, but I don't think we need a reading tonight. I would ask you all to close your eyes, feel the breeze on your skin, smell that freshness of the summer that you're not going to smell again for another 11 months. And join together in the Chatima. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim, blessed are you, God, who makes the evening fall. So last night I got to participate in this community event about welcoming the stranger. And Rabbi Yoni Dahlin from Shaarei Tzedek shared something about this commandment to love. And in our service, we have this commandment, this idea that we are loved by God, followed by our commandment to love God as well. And what Rabbi Dahlin said was that we should take that commandment to love seriously as we take the commandment to honor our father and mother, as seriously as we take the commandment to rest on Shabbat, should we take the commandment to love with our whole hearts, interpret that however we want, but to take it really, really seriously. So instead, again, of this reading in our book, I would ask you all to commit this week to try to love a little harder in the name of God as we turn to the Shema on page 41.
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. As you're seated, we join together, page 42, with the chanting of Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha, ubechol me'odecha. Ve'hayu hadevarim ha'ele, asher hanochi metzavecha, hayom al levavecha. Veshinantav levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha beveitecha, uvlechtecha v'aderech, uv'shofpecha uv'ekumecha, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
So on page 44, we see this line in our text, Bechol dor vador chayav adam lirot et atzmo ki'ilu hu yatsa mimitzrayim, that every single generation, every one of us should see ourselves as if it were us. If it were us that crossed the Red Sea, left slavery, and found freedom. And we're supposed to remember that because it's supposed to inspire us to fight for the oppressed in our society and our time. But I'd like to also encourage you to think of it in a different way, in that in a society that oppresses others, we're on that list as well. So it's not enough to see ourselves, to remember being slaves in Egypt, but to think of us still enslaved in some respect in a country where if there is discrimination and persecution, if there is bigotry and hatred, we are still enslaved, all of us together. So we turn to the words of Mi Chamocha on page 46, this prayer for redemption, this gratitude for our freedom with the hope that in the near future, everyone in our country and our world will experience redemption.
אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
On page 47, we turn to the words of Hashkivenu that ask God to watch over us as we sleep, but really to watch over us at every moment in our lives, to protect us, to give us a sense that we are in God's care. And so we join together in English. Cause us, our Creator, to lie down in peace, and raise us up, O sovereign God, to renewed life and peace. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Be our shield of mercy and of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת ושמרו עשו את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמר בני ישראל את השבת ושמרו עשו את השבת לדורותם ברית
We rise together as we turn to page 51 for the Amidah.
Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha Adonai Sifatai Tiftach אתה אדוני אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי לאה ואלוהי רחל, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך חוזר, מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, Bezrat Sarah.
We continue praying together on page 52. Prayer invites us to let God's presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Blessed are you, O God, who renews all things.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. As you're seated, we pray silently. Helps us make the choice to be like God. To be like God. Behold, ye hear the whisper, present every day. Behold, ye hear the whisper, that teaches us the way to be like God. To be like God. Behold, ye hear the whisper, guide each word and deed. Behold, ye hear the whisper, reminding us we need to be like God. To be like God. Behold, ye hear the whisper, the warmth of a love's embrace. Behold, ye hear the whisper, giving us the grace to be like God. To be like Behold, ye hear the whisper. Behold, ye hear the whisper. Behold.
during the silent prayer, I just had a brainstorm. I came up with the best fundraiser any synagogue. No, I'm serious. Can you imagine what our members would pay for a chance to operate the heavy equipment over there? And then I realized that I was leading into the Misha Berach. And it came to me that prayer is like the heavy equipment of our souls. And we use this moment to see if we can bulldoze out of our way all of the illness and the pain, and if we can construct wholeness and healing in our lives through these beautiful words of Misha Berach on page 66. With that prayer for healing, we all feel just a little bit more whole, a little bit more at peace. And so it's a perfect opportunity to step into a moment of love and connection between two special people who are about to enter into the covenant of marriage. And so it is a great honor to invite Emily Rosen and Eric Groisman to come forward now for their ufruf, their wedding blessing. As they come forward, they will be receiving a gift of a mezuzah for their home and a gift of membership here at Temple Israel. We pray that they will be a part of this community for many years to come as we offer them this blessing. Oh God, this couple has come tonight to stand before you and before all of this holy community to ask blessing on their marriage. Sanctify their love, O God, and help them to enter into this new stage of life, creating a home built on the values of Jewish tradition, of faith, of learning, and community. May their chuppah be a wedding canopy transformed into a home of openness and hospitality, a home filled with love and happiness, laughter and joy, a home based in trust and respect. May the two of you find each other in that home every day. And may you be blessed with God's most precious gift, the gift of peace. As together we say, Amen.
On Sunday, my family is expanding exponentially. We're hosting 5 boys. Alone, Jesse, Hudson, Alexander, and Aaron, who are coming to Detroit from New Orleans and from New York to compete in the 2019 Maccabi Games. To prepare, I've been making beds and fluffing pillows and trekking to Costco for snacks and Gatorade, not to mention extra toilet paper, milk and cereal, and laundry detergent. Lots and lots of laundry detergent. 2 teenage boys eat a lot, so when I add 5 more, I can't even begin to imagine how much 7 will consume over the course of the next week. My friends have told me I'm amazing for hosting 5. I think I'm just crazy. Compare these 5 boys to the 5 girls who are introduced in this week's Torah portion. Actually, last week we were introduced to them, to the daughters of Zelophehad, Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. Remember, they were the ones whose father died without sons, and therefore they petitioned Moses and the entire community to allow them to inherit their father's land. It was unheard of at the time for girls to inherit. Everyone must have thought they were crazy, but I think they were amazing. They presented their case in court, and lo and behold, to everyone's surprise, the verdict was yes. Yes, with a caveat. They could inherit if they married within their own tribe, otherwise they would forfeit their land. It wasn't a perfect answer, but a compromise that acknowledged the rights of women and set a future precedent, while also ensuring that the ownership of the land remained within the tribe, remained within the community. Even after all these years, we see it as a win for women. In spite of the more than 3 millennia that separate our 5 boys and 5 girls, they have a lot in common. I think they could be friends if they were all meeting up this week at Maccabia. I imagine them at hang time between events or in the lunchroom sitting side by side. Of course, they're likely on their phones, probably Snapchatting each other, or in my scenario, actually talking to each other about the things that matter to them. They care about being Jewish and having a strong sense of identity. They are willing to push themselves outside of their comfort zone to achieve a goal and make a change. They value their community while continuing to build a stronger, more inclusive and egalitarian one. They understand the value of teamwork, knowing it is hard to do things alone, but on a team or in a partnership, they can do so much more, maybe even win a gold medal. And besides, in my mind's eye, they are sweet and kind to each other, they are laughing and having fun, and they are now friends for life. It could happen because it is what actually does happen at these games when artists and athletes converge from all around the world, where they connect with Judaism and tradition and Israel, and where they come to win the gold medal, but end up leaving with something so much more valuable. It may seem trite to say that the 1 week of the U.S. Maccabi Games each year changes their lives, but it really does. An athlete from a previous game expressed this sentiment, saying, "At the end of our last game, both my team and the opposing team all got in one big circle, and we danced around and sang. I felt like no matter where you live, we are all one family, and we will always be there for each other." I'm so proud that this is what is happening for them in Detroit this summer, and Temple Israel has had a big part in it. Our students are competing, our members are volunteering, our temple is sponsoring a family night on Wednesday with the Stephen Gottlieb concert, which you absolutely 100% have to come to. And it's not just this year. Temple Israel has always played an integral role in these games. It started when our member, Mac Sheldon of blessed memory, came to a young, hip, cool rabbi, you know the one, with the big brown curly hair, no, not me, Rabbi Loss, and asked him if he would help start a sports program for the Jewish youth of Detroit. You see, Max was born and raised in 1920s and 30s Germany. He was all about the idea of sports and physical strength as a new kind of Zionism. And in 1938, Max traveled to what was then Palestine to compete in track and field for the Maccabiah competition, an international Jewish Olympics which had started just 6 years earlier. Unfortunately, the British mandate, out of fear that the Jewish athletes would just stay on in Palestine, canceled what would have been the third Maccabiah. Max did stay, and having gotten out of Germany, he always credited the Maccabi Games with saving his life. His story is crazy, and it is amazing. And so he committed himself to establishing the Games in the United States, serving on the board of directors of Maccabiah USA, and approaching that young, creative, and dynamic Rabbi Loss, with whom he created the after-school sports program for Jewish athletes that would ultimately become our JCC Maccabi. There's no question in my mind that Max Sheldon would fit right into that group of newfound friends with our 5 boys and 5 girls. He too would have been right in there texting and playing games. I think he might have ventured over to the mitzvah booth to learn how to sign the Shema in Hebrew in ASL and to write his name in Hebrew calligraphy. He'd be singing his heart out to Hebrew pop music with the Israeli counselors, and he would have run his hardest, pushed himself on the track, and extended himself when it came to introducing himself to someone new. Believe it or not, that's what our kids do, especially when we're not watching, and we can learn from them. And even though I'm pretty sure we aren't out there competing for the gold, we can internalize the lessons and values that they learn and bring them to our own lives. Like making Judaism a priority in faith, in ritual, in tradition, by looking at our lives through Jewish glasses and asking questions of our tradition when we are making decisions about important and unimportant matters. Like recognizing that when we push ourselves outside of our comfort zone, real change happens. We see opportunities and new possibilities. We see what we and our society are capable of doing. Like understanding that we are better when we work as a team. We include diverse opinions and perspectives. We appreciate the differences that we see in each other, both in our strengths and our growth areas, realizing that we bring different things to the table, which make us all better for it. And perhaps most important of all, just being kind to each other, opening ourselves to other people, other ideas, other stories, recognizing the humanity in every single person and acknowledging their worth. These are the lessons that our Maccabi athletes and artists, our biblical tradition, and our own Temple Israel community teach us. It might sound crazy or it might sound amazing to you, but look at what crazy and amazing can do in strengthening our community, in deepening our values, and in making us better people. Crazy and amazing can change the world, especially when it is our children that we are looking at to create the future. And so, I wish each of you a Shabbat Shalom and say, let the games begin.
it will endure. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Gaza, Gaza. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Gaza, Gaza. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Gaza, Gaza. Be strong, be strong. Gaza, Gaza. ונתחזק. חזק, חזק, ונתחזק.
We turn now to the congregational announcements. And I believe there's a past president here somewhere who's about to come up, Dr. Ed Royal, to tell us what's going on at Temple Israel.
So when I looked at the heavy equipment over there, I'm not a rabbi, I'm a lay or lazy person, but I just thought about they're building a building. I think that's true, but can you dig it? No. And Shabbat Shalom. Tomorrow morning we'll have a very literary Shabbat. We'll enjoy a PJ Library story and activities at 10 a.m., followed by a family-friendly Shabbat service at 10:30. No RSVPs are required. This Wednesday evening, come enjoy the aforementioned Stephen Gottlieb concert. As mentioned by Rabbi Marla, the Maccabi athletes will be here with their host families, so don't miss it, because at 6 p.m. will be dinner, followed by a rock and soulful Jewish music concert with Jacob Krause at 7 p.m., followed with dessert and activities. The evening is open to the community at large with no charge. Please RSVP as soon as you can. 1 week from tonight, we'll have another family-friendly Shabbat service with a buffet dinner and magic show at 6 p.m., followed by an eco-themed Kabbalat service at 7:30. Bring your own dinner or RSVP by this Monday for the buffet dinner that will be served. We're also celebrating the August birthdays of our children, 12 and younger, who will receive a special birthday book from the Shellberg Family Shabbat Birthday Book Fund. Next Saturday morning, a week from tomorrow at 10:30, enjoy a Shabbat schmooze and schmear with bagels, lox, and Kabbalah. Experience a special service focusing on Jewish mysticism, followed by bagels and lox kiddush. No RSVP is required for that. And finally, I can't believe it, but the high holidays are just around the corner. Sisterhood's Honey for the Holiday program is in full swing. Wish your family, friends, and anyone else a sweet and healthy New Year by sending them a festive 8-ounce jar of kosher honey. That's not regular honey, that's festive honey. Those bees were very festive. Order by Monday if you want to get free shipping. And for more information about any of these programs, you can visit the Temple's website calendar, you can check the information table, you can call the office during regular hours. And following services tonight, please join us for the Oneg and Shabbat greetings. On behalf of the officers and the members of the Board of Trustees, let me wish y'all Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, it's someone's birthday this week, and he is going to get the honor of opening the Ark tonight. Austin, Where are ya? Austin, come on up. Happy birthday. Gonna come open the ark. Please rise. All the kids come up and join us. Page 89 as we sing Aleinu together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, התקנו לה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו בהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Rabbi Hornston just realized that the Bagels, Lox, and Schmear program will be in the Schmear Family Chapel. This could be, what could be more beshert than that, right? And I should also mention that the service will be led by Cantor Smolesh and myself. We both have very different perspectives on Jewish mysticism, so it should be like dueling Kabbalists. It should really be an interesting morning. And I just one more sort of underscoring of an announcement. It was mentioned about the Gottlieb concert with Jacob Krauss, Spike they call him. And you should come, but not only because it's going to be an amazing concert. As I think it was alluded to, we, thanks to the generosity of a Temple Israel family, we have actually hired Jacob for the entire year to be our artist in residence. So he's really part of our Temple family, and this is your chance to get to know him. He is a transformational song leader and song writer, and I really hope you'll come, if for nothing else, than to get to know this incredible new member of the Temple Israel staff. So with that, we turn to the task of memory, and we look to all of the people who have been part of our lives, who have given us such joy, but now there is sadness because they are gone. And that includes those who had died during the past 30 days of Shloshim: Madeline Bachnick, Leon Kogan, Richard Drazen, Ralph Epstein, Michelle Ehrlich, Fred Garfinkel, Diane Gorin, Dr. Jeffrey Gorash, Dr. Arthur Herold, Neil Herman, Maury Janowitz, Stephen Lazar, Joan Lesson, Cy Lisnoff, Sharon Lovey, Myra Namek, Edna Nelkin, Morton Schloss, Leah Schneider, Harry Shapiro, Gary Singer, Michelle Slotkin, Gay Smith, Janice Stern, Dr. Leonard Wayne, Susan Weinberg, and Jerome Zuckerman. And we recall, too, the yard sites that fall at this time: Martin J. Alpert, David Aptekar, Mary Baker, Rosalind Belkin, Manuel Ben, Yetta Bez, Max Bachnick, Harry Robert Bachoff, Louis H. Champagne, Herbert Corman, Beatrice M. Davis, Ellis Fishman, Ellen C. Jaffa, Nathan Levitt, Barry Joel Lipson, Saul Luft, Dr. Daniel Moroff, Eric Scott Nicholson, Sylvia Perlman, Rhonda Plisco, Harry Portney, Carol Monash Roberts, Janet Rosenberger, Sam Roth, Susan Salter, Fred Sampson, Morris Sapperstone, Sylvia Schneider, Sal Side, Minnie Side, Mel Shapiro, Jacqueline Siegel, Sylvia Swarren, Sam Wasserman, Josephine Weiner, Percy Weiner, Nettie Brenner, George Cantor, David Friedman, Lewis Friedman, Shirley Goodman, Jack H. Allen, John A. Mintz, John David Meyer, Arthur Remsen, Vicky Schwartz, Herman Belgrad, Joseph Adler, Louise Kaplan, Jean Morgenstern Greenbaum, A. Perlman, Judy Perlman, Ruth Staffen, Lillian Wolf, Sally Schreiber, Norman Selleck, Dr. John Dangovian, Jerry Goldman, Milton Heiklin, David Irie, and Mildred Borax. May their souls and the souls of all of our beloved departed be bound up in the bond of eternal life, as on page 80 we rise to remember them. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'amad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayetechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'izman kariv yimiru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu, Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiram b'yama v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved among us, and let us say, Amen.
And let us also pray that all of those participating in the Maccabi Games this week do so in strength, even as all of us gathered here today, show them how beautiful this community is. I invite you to find someone on your right and left to put an arm around as we conclude with the words you just heard, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek, be strong, and together we will be strengthened.
Strong, strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Chazak, Chazak. Be strong, let us strengthen one another.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.